Okay, we're going to work through the chapter test together. Number 1 on page 279. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Take out your homework assignment from the weekend. And let's see if you had any questions on that.
Yeah, you pick it up? No. You pick it up?
Hey, Brandon, how about you shut up?
I know you sleep. Call me.
We did proportional lengths. You had the written exercises on page 272. Did you have any questions on those?
19, 24, and 26. I did all of them. I just can't think of those.
I wrote down that I had a question on 17. I don't know. I have the answer to that.
24 and 26. On the
All right. Let's do number 24. 3 lots with parallel side boundaries extend from the avenue to the boulevard as shown. Find to the nearest tenth of a meter the frontages of the lots.
What number is this?
Okay, this is number 24.
what sign was that? I don't know. 16.
Yes. Number 24.
I signed the 16. It's page 257.
What's the website? You would check our stuff on? It's not the right one.
Mathbiz.com.
It's 270.
That one.
I'm on page 273, number 24.
Who says 257?
Okay, the first thing we need to do
You did that.
is find a ratio. I want you to turn back to page 270 real quick and look at the corollary in the middle of the page. If 3 parallel lines intersect 2 transversals, they divide those transversals proportionally. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is try to find a scale factor to the measures that we are dealing with here. Okay? Now, I don't know what this is individually. I don't know what this is, and I don't know what this is. But I do know what this whole length is from beginning to end. It's 140. And I know what this whole length is from beginning to end. So since I know those 2 things, I'm going to use them to find the scale factor of these measures. Okay. So what is 40 plus 30 plus 35? 105. Very good. 105 over 140. Can that be reduced?
Yes.
By what? Well, let's start with 5. Is that right?
3/4.
Okay, so my scale factor is 3/4. Now, according to that corollary, it said if these lines were parallel, which they are, because in the statement it says that they were parallel boundaries. Okay? So all these lines are parallel. And if that's the case, then these things have been separated proportionally. So if my scale factor, and this is my shorter one, here, is 3 to 4, then let's focus on finding the value of x first. x and 40 would also be proportional, but we need to make sure we put x and 40 in the right location. 3 represents the line that added up to 105, which is what? This bottom. So since 40 is part of the bottom line, 40 goes in the numerator and x goes in the denominator. Now what would you do to find the value of x? Cross multiply and divide. You get 160 divided by 3. What's 160 divided by 3?
15.
Anyone?
53.
It's 53.3. Okay? It's 53.3. So the frontage for this first lot was 53.3 meters. Now how would we find the frontage for the second lot?
Do the same thing just with y.
Do the same thing just with y and 30 this time. All right, remember our scale factor worked out to be 3/4, where 3 represents the sections at the bottom. So if I'm looking for y, I've got 30 over y. So y equals 40. Very good. When you cross multiply, 120 equals 3y. Divide by 3. Y had a value of 40. Okay, so this was 53.3. This was 40. Now, do you have to set up a ratio to find the rest of it, or could you just subtract these two measures from 140 to find the last one?
Yeah.
If we just subtract those two measures from 140, it gives us our last piece, which was 46.7. Now, you could have set up the ratio. You still got 46.7. All right? But if those lines are parallel, then the transversals cutting through them form proportional measures or proportional lengths. The first thing we did was we had to take two things that we knew about both of them. We knew the whole thing and we knew the whole thing. And we used that information to find the scale factor. And then we used our scale factor to fill in the blanks and find the missing pieces. Don't worry about the proof statements right now, Tyler. Okay? We're not going to focus too much on proofs.
So we don't.
No, we're not going to have a proof tomorrow test. All right.
So,
Any other questions on page 272?
number 11.
Number 11 dealt with the parallel lines. Okay? You had 3 parallel lines cut by a transversal. There was one here creating values of 4x and 3x. There was one here creating values of 5x and 15.
Which one is this?
This was number 11. These 3 lines are said to be parallel. All right? Now, according to the corollary, they've created proportional segments. Which means you could either say this. You could say that 4x over 5x is equal to 3x over 15. Or you could say 4x over 3x is equal to what?
5x.
5x over 15, whichever way you want to do it. Okay, I'm just going to do it this way because it's already kind of written out that way. All right, before I start cross multiplying, can I do some reducing of those fractions? On the left-hand side, what can be reduced?
X.
Your x's can cancel, so it simply gives you 4/3. And on the right-hand side, what can you reduce?
1.
The 5 and the 15. Now, doesn't this make the problem a little bit easier? All right. Now, cross multiply. You get 3x is equal to 12. So x is equal to 4. Now, make sure you answer the question. The question was, find the value of x. Okay, x is 4. Now what if the question had been, find the three lengths